Can we give Andrew Bridgen a massive round of applause, please? Make some noise. I just want to thank everyone, because obviously there's a lot more of you here than we're able to get into the public gallery. I mean, Andrew's been in the Commons himself, what was it, 5 hours today, sat there? Yeah? And quite a few of you didn't get in, and you've been waiting, and some of you have been out here with your banners and your leaflets. And also, if you can see Andrew on the barriers over there, we've got lots of people who died suddenly, and we're showing their faces. So for all the work that people are doing, World Council for Health, I've gotten the group name over there, and all of our independent media guys that are here today as well. Can we have a round of applause for you guys for being here all day? And I know how much Andrew appreciates you all being here as well, because Andrew has been kicked from all sides, haven't you, Andrew? He's taken a lot over the last, well over a year now. But this debate that happened today has actually followed a German debate and a debate in Westminster Hall, and it was rejected 26 times. He's been trying for over a year to have this debate in the Commons. But the fact is, I think most of us know we shouldn't even be here in the first place. Andrew shouldn't have had to try for a year in the first place to get this debate on excess deaths. We know what it is. We know the agenda, and so many of you who are standing here today have known the agenda for 4 years. And you didn't just know and stay silent. You spoke out, and you went out on the streets. We probably handed out hundreds of thousands of leaflets between us. I don't know how many of you have also been arrested. Willsey? Quite a few of you. And I just want to acknowledge how hard it was for people 4 years ago to stand up and even post on Facebook, and then to go out on the streets and actually stand up with other people and say, especially during lockdown, that we don't agree with this, we do not comply. That was even harder. And to actually use your voice, and again, World Council for Health with the doctors, many of which have lost their jobs and suffered. So many people have suffered in so many different ways. For those of you who have been standing up against it for the last 4 years, massive round of applause for yourselves as well. But as I say, we actually shouldn't even be here in the first place, but I'm so pleased to see so many of you here supporting Andrew. I've been so privileged to work with Andrew for over a year now, and I just wanted to say, I'm actually very humbled, and I don't use the word hero very often. I think people know that actually I think it's used way too much. But this man doesn't just earn his salary. This man works himself to the point of exhaustion for the people. So thank you, Andrew. Anyway, so if some of you may have seen the Times article, and I'm actually proud to say that I'm one of the anti-vax conspiracy theorist cult leaders that radicalised this man. So without further ado, massive round of applause for Andrew Bridgen.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out here, and for those of you who watched the debate we've had this afternoon in the chamber. I want to share something with you. They even tried to kibosh me today. I was in a heated argument with the Deputy Speaker at the chair before the debate started. Then I went to go and see the Speaker. At no notice at all, they tried to halve my speech today in the chamber at like 10 minutes notice. Tell me I could only speak for 15 minutes when I got a 30-minute speech, and it had got to include interventions. They tried, but they failed. We had the debate. We had 2.5 hours of debate. The mainstream media will not report a word of that debate, because everything I said in my speech can be verified with the scientific papers, and they can't attack it, so they just will have to ignore it. But I'll tell you now, that speech and that whole debate will get millions and millions and millions of views around the world on social media. It's on the record forever in Hansard, and every other time I've spoken in that chamber, they've always said that he's a conspiracy theorist and he's an anti-vaxxer. I mean, how do you become an anti-vaxxer when you've actually had 2 doses of AstraZeneca and got hurt by it? I mean, you know, they're not catching me again, though, I can assure you. Certainly not. When I first spoke out on the 13th of December in 2022, a long time ago now, when the MHRA were asking for permission, authorisation from the government to vaccinate babies down to 6 months of age. Yeah. The government said that I was an anti-vax conspiracy theorist. But you'll remember that they never dared, after that speech, they never dared authorise those experimental vaccines for the small babies, and we are one of the very few countries in the world that haven't vaccinated down to 6 months. And when I spoke out on the 17th of March, merely quoting the government's own number needed to vaccinate figures for the efficacy and safety of the booster campaign last year, that I think from memory, the healthy 40 to 49-year-old cohort, you only had to boost 994,300 people to keep one person out of hospital with COVID. And with a serious adverse event rate of 1 in 800, that put around 1,150 people at risk of death and serious injury to keep one person out of hospital with COVID. The government again said I was a conspiracy theorist anti-vaxxer, but within 3 weeks they'd restricted the age group for the eligibility for the booster campaign to the over 75s and the immunosuppressed. Well, they certainly shouldn't be taking these experimental vaccines, because what they are doing is they're damaging everybody's immune system, making us more prone to COVID, making us more prone to every other disease, and of course making us more prone to cancer as well, and we're seeing that coming through. Today's speech will be totemic. It will go around the world. It will encourage other parliamentarians and other democracies to speak out. Hopefully it'll encourage some more of the doctors and the scientists to speak out. We need that as well. But what you have to remember is that the truth will always come through. The truth is like a lion. We don't have to protect it. All we have to do is set it free. And today we set the truth free in that chamber. Thank you very much.